Welcome back to Two Dudes Audio. Today we have something interesting. Undercompensation is the name of the game with this little package we got here. It is basically probably the smallest PA subwoofer I would ever use. I really don't know what to even say about it. It weighs 50 pounds. It's a 12-inch sub from Harbinger. They claim 1,000 watts. They say it's got DSP and all this, so we're gonna open it up. We're gonna see what it does. They claim 130 dB from a 12, just a single 12. Let's get to it. I gotta get a haircut soon, oh my God. Yep, box was in a box. Quick overview. So you have 1,000 watts plus DSP. They're saying you got time alignment, delay, adjustment. It looks like it's just only a 0 to 180 degree phase knob. So yeah, you get some delay. I mean, a lot of the subs we actually review don't have a phase switch at all. So that's not bad, 400 bucks. I mean, hey. We also have crossover tuning. So this one actually does have a crossover built into it, unlike the Mackie we just reviewed. Stereo signal management just allows you to plug into, have two outputs. A lot of subwoofers do that. A lot of the times now you have daisy chaining, so you actually don't even need dual, but it just allows for more versatility. I will actually mention it is meant to work with all the Vari series by Harbinger as well. It claims that it uses a custom 12-inch driver, so most likely Harbinger outsourced the driver that they used, which is good because from what I remember, we actually liked Harbinger's amplifiers, just not really their drivers so much. Where Alto is the opposite. We like Alto's drivers, their amplifiers weren't so great. It's actually, oh my God, this thing's adorable. It's so tiny. Let me take this thing out. Ugh. Look how tiny that is. Oh my God. This has to be like maybe like 14 inches wide and like 16 inches tall. This is a very compact sub. It's built really well though. Oh my God. Look at this finish. They actually did a really good job. That is impressive. Very impressive. Even the handles, they're not like your typical like hardware plastic handles that you'll find on speakers. They're actually like built into the wood. So far I'm actually very impressed. I mean, very flush with mounting the top pole. So it will actually take a top pole so you can mount any top speaker you need. Knobs feel good. Ooh, crossover, oh, it's a notchy crossover frequency, look at that. It actually like clicks. So they're saying the best combo with this is the 2310, the 2308, and then you have the S12. It does take balanced and unbalanced XLR as well as 1/4 inch, which is nice because then, again, it gives you more versatility with using other branded speakers or, you know, it doesn't have to be another Harbinger unit. It says 400 watts at 4 ohms, 1,000 watts peak. Okay, so at least they're being pretty honest. Like the peak figure I think is a little exaggerated, but 400 watts RMS, that's not too unbelievable for $400. Remember the general rule of thumb I say, with powered speakers, $1 per watt is what you're gonna pay, it's what you're gonna get. Class D plus switching power design, which is nice. So it's kind of what we saw on the Mackie. Even though it is a Class D amplifier, the way the transistors are like aligned on the circuit board and how the circuit board looks and like architecture, it kind of looks like a Darlington pair, like they're using some kind of switching amplification, which is nice because you will get a little bit more low end with that as opposed to just a straight Class D. 35 to 150 hertz, so it's actually claiming this little guy will get down to 35. We'll test it, 130 dB, it's a 4 ohm impedance driver, 12-inch sub. It's a plywood construction, which I can definitely feel. That's what makes this thing so heavy. Without furthermore, let's get to testing. Let's take it apart. Let's see if this thing's hiding any secrets or if it's just a whole lot of hoopla. All right, so let's take a peek-sies. Oh, interesting. So you actually have a triple fold surround, which is very nice. So definitely will move pretty decently. As for the box, it's kind of hard to tell. It looks just kind of like your standard, you know, ported box, but it actually goes all the way back with those walls, which is nice. So it's not just like an open design. Sounds really stiff. Oh yeah, that's a stiff driver. Jesus. You know, this actually might not sound half bad. So as you guys can see, the driver is actually pretty impressive. We're gonna take it out of the box, obviously, and just see what the magnet is like, what kind of spider it uses, what the chassis looks like, you know, things of that nature. But all in all, Chaz and I were just listening to it, and we're fairly impressed. Like, not only that, but I realized while we were hooking it up, this thing does actually offer a fully adjustable time delay on the back. It does have a type of crossover. That crossover dial not only will cross over the subwoofer, but it'll take your inputs and outputs and cross it over to the top speaker. So if you set this to 80 hertz, it'll only allow 80 hertz and above to go to this top speaker. And for demo purposes, we were just using one of these JBL studio monitors. But to be honest, you're getting a lot for $400. That is an insane amount of versatility. It has a lot of features. It actually sounds very good for just a 12. It almost gives me like a home theater vibe in terms of like its frequency response. We were testing to see how low it went with some songs, and it was actually producing it. We wouldn't say that, you know, you can get what they're claiming 130 dB at like 40, 50 hertz or below, but it was actually doing it sufficiently enough that I would be impressed. Like as a guest, even like a solo artist, and you were a guest at that performance, that would be more than enough for a bass guitar, for a drum set, for, you know, whatever you really needed it for. Again, weighs 50 pounds, which isn't the lightest thing, but it's impressive for what you're getting. On top of that, I mean, we're just going to take it apart and fully see what the guts are. We're gonna do a frequency sweep real quick and monitor just exactly when the sub tends to peak. Without further ado, let's get to the frequency test. So we're already at 26 hertz, nothing's coming out. We're at 40 hertz now, becoming audible. 50 hertz, it's getting pretty loud. 60, 70 hertz. That did kind of seem like almost its peak. Again at 90, rolls off a bit. 110, 120, 140, 160, 200, and now it's just gonna start to roll off and get quieter and quieter, and that's exactly what it's doing. So it actually was performing half decent up to about 200 hertz. I mean, I could feel that in my pants leg just standing next to it. Honestly, I'm trying to find things to hate about this subwoofer, and I can't. Harbinger did a good job. For 12-inch, you know, 12 inches, I mean, you get a lot. So now we're gonna do just a little bit of musical testing, show you the excursion of the subwoofer, show the limiter light and how the sub sounds when it limits. It does sound like a soft clipping limit, which means that you probably won't get in danger of overheating or destroying the subwoofer during any performance if you are occasionally kissing that clipping point. So solid. Yeah, let's take it apart. Yeah, we'll do it free air. Absolutely, we got free air it. Warning, high voltage, wall on. Just, ooh, holy crap. All right, now that's worth looking at. Give me a second. Yeah, freaking big old vent, big old, oh my God, that is a massive magnet. Oh my God. That is crazy. Harbinger, you outdid yourself on this one. That is an actual heavy magnet too. This driver is not light. And only for a 12. I mean, there's no crazy like tinsel design going on or anything, but from the sheer size of the magnet, and the coil looks to be about 2.5 inches, maybe 2.25. It's not bad. Yes, this actually has basket venting as well. There's little tiny cutouts, yeah. That's interesting. Let's see what it does free air wise. That is an impressive driver. That's like 1.5 inches of excursion. Wow. That thing is straight up coming out of the frickin' basket. Here's the amplifier. It looks like your standard Class D amplifier. Nothing too crazy about it. The claimed 400 watts RMS is 100% believable. After a crazy excursion fun that we had with this thing, the cone is not even remotely warm. So, decent amplifier, decent sub, very good box design. I'm still impressed with the finish on this box, how well it's been laid out. So it's got Acousta-Fill on the inside, which makes it really nice. The box construction is very nice. I mean, it does not sound very hollow at all. It's very, very well built. I really can't say anything bad about this on a scale of 1 to 10. I rate the sub a 9. The price is good, performance is good. It does everything it needs to the right way. It's really not trying to lie or, be anything fake for once. It's amazing. It always seems like anything we test that is under like $500, just like a lot of gimmicks going on with it. The fit and finish is great. The sound quality is great. The power delivery is great. The simple amount of features on it is fantastic. The whole time alignment thing, the whole, you have phase adjustment of 0 and 180, which again, a lot of subwoofers, especially at this price point, do not offer. Especially the time delay, I love that. That is fantastic for larger venues, which goes to show, even though this thing's so small, you can still play a decent sized venue. 2 of these, more than enough bass than your typical crappy DJ that just brings 2 top speakers that are 15s, 2 Mackie Thumps, and then says, yeah, it's enough bass. No, it's not. You need this. This is definitely probably the best entry-level sub I've personally heard. For $400, the whole delivery of the product is fantastic. I really can't give this thing enough praise. Well done. Again, this has been another video of Two Dudes Audio. Well, hopefully we get more products like this, because if the audio companies keep producing products that are this good for the price, I might start, stop crapping all over everything, but that's probably highly unlikely, It's all about the money, so. All right, have a good one, guys. Typically, people have seen what the Mackie Thumps have to offer.